You know, it's safe to say I didn't expect a music video to come out on Part of Misery, especially post Take Me Home, which also had a surprise music video unveiling a couple days later after the track had been publicly released. But I welcome the opportunity, especially in showcasing Written by Wolves, who many of you know I've had a great time with this group. I've been a long-standing fan of them for a number of years, ever since To Tell You the Truth debuted, and I don't remember the exact date, but it was around then that I discovered them soon after that track had released. That I don't even remember how they came my way, probably for a randomized YouTube shuffle or something. But ever since, I've been a big fan of them, and I've loved being able to bring them on the channel. It's been a long-time aspiration, specifically with them alongside some of our particular talents that have yet to grace this channel's arrival. Some have. There are some groups I've just spent so much time with and I would have loved to showcase, and perhaps pave routes for new listeners. And I hope that there are some of you that are approaching Written by Wolves on a first-name basis. Think New Zealand-based alternative music with a real hip-hop, rap, punk rock, metal-esque type flair. They're quite varied in their approach. But I've really come to respect their variability and the execution of their work, and the authentic messages that they have to share, deeply impassioned human experiences that are encased quite well in their work. Such beautiful craftsmanship on the instrumental side. Pieces that I've long favored. Misery was one such piece when we consulted that one earlier together. And so maybe this video will focus, understandably, less on an analysis, given I've already explored that piece in a great depth. I'm excited to appreciate it again on part of this video that arrived, but, you know, I figured in highlighting Misery, and again, hopefully being able to pave routes for new listeners, and just showcasing good art overall. I hope for a fun experience. I always get it with music, and with Written by Wolves, 3 times in at this point, they've satisfied. I hope you have a similar experience. With a video of it, at least on the thumbnail appearance, is this sort of like a yin-yang duality between Take Me Home and Misery, and that Take Me Home was shot, I believe, in the same place in daylight, and then this hours later. Or maybe hours earlier. I'm not sure what the order was that these were filmed in, but that's interesting. But a fun live performance, I would imagine. And with Written by Wolves, it's always a fun experience to watch them. Deeply impassioned delivery, it just connects. You sense it. I hope you have a fun time with Written by Wolves. Let's entertain this music video together. On that front, this is an introduction to me, though as I said, I've recognized the tune previously, and I know how good it is. Maybe we'll go into a light discussion on it for sure. We'll see. But I hope you have a good time with it if you've never experienced Written by Wolves. Let this be your first footing. Alright, here we go. Misery. It's fun to return to this piece. This one is such a strong listen. I've repeated this one pretty much nonstop. I love it so much on its message. And its craftsmanship specifically, get ready for the choir intrusion. I love it so much. God, this piece is amazing. One of my freaking favorites from them. And it's right on the outset. Anytime anybody brings in a symphonic metal flair or anything of that vein, just sinks in me. I love the light show.
Who decided where the ambulance goes? Bottom of the cliff until we let it explode. It's like we tried to spite our face, so we cut up our nose. Couldn't talk about it, now we're coming to blows. They made an offer that we couldn't refuse. Gave us an action, now we're destined to lose. Now we're reading Bible just for something to do. Hoping me, I'm hoping there's a loophole or two.
The isolation with the choir intrusion. Perfect idea. Then we got Mikey's vocals. I love this guy's pitch. And that's the patient on the O's. Great choice. This definitely adds a nice new flow to the work. Like I said, you just feel it connects beautifully. I'm not sure if they've played it. I'm trying to think in the back of my mind. Have they played of a choir flare before? I think that might be a new intrusion. Maybe it isn't. I admire the choice so much here. It works perfectly for Misery. Especially for these softer sections. Song is just strong in every respect. I love the authenticity of their work. Man, the bluntness here. And sick choices. Again, the electronic side, this works perfectly. One of my favorite alternative groups. And to marry that lingering choir outro to the end as a conclusion effect, it's just such a good choice. I love the ambition of this piece. My word, even just on a reprisal, man, I've listened to this number so many times at this point. And it's a great piece to just entertain generally. You know, I take it with me walking, driving. It's just so good. Everywhere I hear it, man, just... And I got it on full blast, by the way, because it's just so good of a number. You know, it is my hope that we are approaching music coverage here from a variety of respects and angles, right? And then maybe, in some manner, I'm introducing you to such competent offerings in the music world generally, especially on the international grounds. You know, written by wolves, I am quite familiar that they do fit, and I'm not trying to, by the way, lessen their regard at all. They fit in the territory of my circles of not being a known group, and it drives me crazy that those in my personal life, face-to-face contacts, there's no cohesion when it comes to musical tastes. With many of you, of course, there's a general blending, and I appreciate that connection. It reminds me I'm not as isolated as I oftentimes feel, and I'm honestly so tired of it. But, you know, because music for me has just had such a deep place in my life, especially on the metal grounds. I've been a metalhead of many years, and anything of the alternative vein that might mix in certain elements easily appeals. The creative ambition on behalf of Written by Wolves and their independent voice I've always respected. And Misery is just a perfect demonstration. And it's fun to enjoy live. I mean, again, like I said, a bit of a yin-yang performance. We have the lighter mood at Take Me Home. That fits in mood, actually. You know, this piece is a bit darker on resonance, a bit more tragic in articulation as well. So the darker lighting, or well, the lack thereof, better fits the song in nature. It's a good compliment. But it's a fun way to enjoy it. But again, on a reprisal experience, I'm just reminded of how good it is. Man. And the choir intrusions. It's just such a nice choice to go with. Man. Oh, anything of symphonic flair, I'm just immediately drawn to. Man. I love covering Written by Wolves. I'm excited for more. As far as I'm concerned, I've said many times at this point, doors open. I can't wait for the Futurist group. I can't wait to highlight them again. Yes, we've already enjoyed this track together. Maybe there's a bit of, like I said, a simpler video articulation, but it's more so enjoying a live performance because it's just always fun to cover this group. And perhaps for some of you, this is your first entrance, right? I always hope for that. I'd love to be able to compel an interest for you to discover talents that I've been long enamored to. And with Written by Wolves, I've had so many years to become accustomed to their abilities. There's a delight in sharing them with others who have not discovered them yet. And I hope this Misery has compelled you to dig deeper with them. And you should. I'll also say, in preparation to Take Me Home, you know, I wish I'd covered that. I liked covering that piece. I'm not shortchanging it in any way, the video, but I wish I'd covered it the day after I filmed it. Or no, was it the day before? Maybe I think it's actually like 2 days before. I had a 10.5 hour mowing job one of those days. And, I like to plug in music when I'm there just to pass the time, because it is an arduous task I would rather not do, admittedly. Oh, anyway. Yeah, I don't look forward to it. But I do take the opportunity to try and make good out of a situation, and so for some of that time, I did turn Written by Wolves on shuffle. As I've said, previously, as far as I'm aware, I have every track of theirs on my phone. Not to, boast or anything, but I've just really come to love this group. And going back down, reviewing their older works, even ones that I hadn't been accustomed to previous to hearing, to tell you the truth, ones that arrived earlier on, just reminded me of how good this group is. So to spotlight them again, I consider it an honor. And I hope you feel as elated as I do finishing up with Misery and just reflecting on it. It's such a substantial work. I love the drive of it. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the piece down below, as well as your angle of approach. Longtime Written by Wolves fan, first impression for you. Feel free to chime in down below. As I said, doors open. I can't wait for more from this group. I, in fact, actually currently have another, where did I put it? Yes, another song coming up. Not from Written by Wolves, but from their frontman. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm excited for that piece. Just, well, I love Mikey's vocals. I love his pitch. It's just such a nice range. I can't wait to hear Written by Wolves again. That was a fun experience to enjoy Misery in a new way with an added-on visualizer component that I feel marries in mood to that piece substantially. It's just a good experience to be able to enjoy Misery again. It is such a compelling work on interest and articulation and authenticity. It perfectly matches Written by Wolves in delivery. I'm so pleased with them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.